I am hoping that if there's one thing you've learned about me, it's that I quite enjoy reading. I may not talk about reading all the time, but that's because I try and I fail. If you've seen the only verbal review I've ever done, it's of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, and it's very wordy and very one-sided and very long, I think. Can't remember. I don't think it was edited, and I called the sticker on the front the wrong colour. I was too distracted by my crazy hair colour, definitely. So today I'm going to be reviewing a pile of books here, I'm not reviewing all of them. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I finished this book not long ago, and in fact not long after I told you that I was reading it at all, you know, within a few days of saying that I was some way through it. This is a book that's quite relatable, to be honest. I didn't think it would be so much. I think I just didn't want it to be so relatable with a title such as this. I mean, the name Fangirl has got quite a bad reputation these days. It's assigned to the crazy versions of what real fangirls are, which are just girls who are fans. This book is about a girl named Kath with a twin sister called Ren, and they've just gone to university to live their lives. But Kath is still pretty stuck in the past, which is quite an annoying feature in this character. However, I think that's what makes this book a little bit different. Going back to what I was talking about with the whole John Green book review, I was very in love with it, but I've come to realise that it's very, I keep saying very, a bit too realistic, a bit too I love all the characters. Did I say realistic? I meant unrealistic. A bit too, I love the characters, I love what's going on, when you shouldn't love what's going on. It's a very horrible time for people. This, however, I often found myself hating the characters as well as loving them and being like, what are you doing? You know, it was a very real representation of characters. And I even found myself relating some of the characters to people I knew in real life, which is probably a bad thing, but it's also a good thing. Like, their dad reminded me of my dad in the whole not to the fullest extent. If you haven't read it, you won't know what I mean. If you have read it, you do. It just he said, or rather Kath mentioned, her father said something about how you can't say you don't like something till you've eaten it. And I was like, that's like my dad. Now, this book has quite a lot of plots. I mean, interwoven little bits. It's not just focused on one thing. I mean, it is a bit focused on the twins, and by a bit I mean a lot. Not entirely sure what the focus of the book is, or necessarily what the book is about. I mean, I do, I've read it, I know what the book is about, but with all the different storylines, it kind of just doesn't have an exposition, a problem, a solving of the problem, an ending. It's kind of, there's no problem to solve really, it just goes dun dun, make of the end what you will. I was reading the book and I got to like the what is it, FAQs? Yeah, Fangirl FAQ with Rainbow Rowell, and I was like, it finished? That's probably one of the main things I would have not done. I didn't really like it, but maybe I just haven't read enough books to be able to establish what a good ending is. So overall, I would say that it is a good book, nice and relatable, a good escape. It doesn't make you feel so alone if you're similar in any way. I mean, I've done the whole fangirl fan fiction writing, hiding away in your room, but I also go out, which is why sometimes she's a bit pathetic and I'm a bit like, what are you doing? But yeah, it was quite cool to, it's the same as when you realise you're not the only one who listens to music in their headphones and looks out the window of your car dramatically like you're in a music video. It's like, oh, you're the same! Oh, I remember this! Remembering how you struggle to get fan fiction out on certain days, or da-da-da-da, or even just the workload or going to classes. I mean, she's doing, or rather was, or she's studying creative writing at university. That's what I'm going to be doing. So, good relatable sort of foundation there. However, loads of focus on twins and how Kath is really attached to Ren. I keep winking with this eye or something. Ren not so attached to Kath. Bit of a never-ending circle with that one. She's just like, Ren, Ren, Ren. And she's like, no, no, no. And then Kath's like, no Ren, and then yes Ren, and oh, circle, 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 circle. But that's the only thing. Maybe that makes the book for some people, but that's just a bit of a... So I would say this is probably a 3 out of 5. I don't know if I've ever read the perfect book yet, and I don't know if you realise when you've read the perfect book until a long way in the future. But I don't think it was the perfect book. The ending was a bit of a letdown. It was relatable, so maybe I'm tempted to go for a 3.5, but isn't a point score a bit of a cop-out? Doing the winky thing again. Let me know what you think if you've read this book. Let me know if you're planning to give it a read. And also, let me know if this was any good, or if there's anything else I could add to the whole review experience, if there's something you want me to specifically mention. This is just something I'm thinking of now. This is such a cool little added bonus feature with the drawings of the characters, but do you think that's a good or a bad thing in books? Because shouldn't you be able to create the characters in your mind for yourself? I mean, I don't know if anyone else is gonna hear me out here, but I did not picture Nick looking like this. He looks really harsh and abrasive, whereas in the text, Kath makes him out to be some god.